Well, I got a call about a big old piece of iron up here and got distracted looking at this little gem tucked away in the woods. Doesn't look like it's been on the road in quite some time. It is a 1980s Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. But the best part is, it's a diesel. So, naturally, snagged it. Now I just got to snag it out of the bushes. Pretty good little tree. Dude brought his machine over because I tried jacking it up to throw the tires back on it, and it was just sinking into the ground, causing problems, so this was faster. Yep, that'll beat a jack every time. Now there's one on. Spin that thing over this way so I ain't standing in all them jaggers. Yeah. Might have to switch, nah, that'll work. Good enough. Alright, got it sucked up on the trailer here. We'll go through it when we get back to the farm, but it's pretty scudgy inside. There's some sort of dead animal in there. Isn't she lovely, boys? Huh? What a treat. I don't know anything about it other than it's a diesel rabbit. And I think that's a dead rabbit laying there in that box. Pretty petrified. Does the door open? Ooh, the door does open. Regrettably. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. I don't even need to describe that one. Ugh, man. New clutch set. Huh. You know, I'm just about going to guarantee that this thing is going to run. Because when I put those new tires on the front there, not new tires, when I stuck the wheels and tires back on the front there, I took a glance at the brake pads, and the brake pads were brand new. There's no way that they have a mile on them. So I think the guy probably took the wheels and tires off and was going to maybe do the clutch. And yeah, here it sits. God knows how many years later. But I think that's a brand new clutch set laying on the floor in there. Ooh, that's a good sound. Oh, man. Ugh, man, the breeze just hit me again. Might leave the doors open on this one for a couple weeks. Ugh. You're not seeing it wrong. That's a bird's nest on top of the column there. That's lovely. What is this? Let's get this. Yep. Ugh. How many miles? 103,259 miles. Oh, you couldn't pay me to drive a quarter-mile on this thing. Ugh. Well, I don't know if this thing was driven by a priest or what, but it is holy. The jokes. Oh, the jokes. More holes. This whole back here is kind of pushed in. There's the carcass of whatever that once was. Ugh. Well, I wish you guys had smell-o-vision, because this is just rough. Oh, there's a socket, a couple of them. Probably no 10 millimeters. Oh, why are you touching this? Oh, there's cockroaches everywhere. Ugh. You guys see the cockroaches? Ugh. This is by far the most foul vehicle I think I've ever bought. Why did I buy it? All right, the diesel. That's right. Gotta remind myself. There's like some big bones over here. What is wrong? What the heck happened in this vehicle? You think there's a mouse house in the insulation up here? You think maybe? Jeez, Liz. Anyway, this little 4-banger is the reason why I'm here. I believe this to be a 1.6 liter VW diesel IDI. And I'm not sure if there's turbo kits available for these things. I don't know what exactly I want to do with it yet, but first and foremost, will it run? I'm going to bet yes. Let me know down in the comments what your bet is. I have checked to make sure it turns over. It does turn over. That's all I know. I don't even think I made it a full revolution. I just made sure it was free. I do not know anything at all about these engines other than that they're supposed to be pretty reliable. So yeah, here's to hoping. So here's our battery cables. Our positive cable down in the starter, she looks pretty good. Our negative here, you can see how chewed and frayed this thing is all the way down here. Look at that. They really did a number on it. But knock on wood, the rest of the wiring that I can see doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to pull the air filter, make sure there's no big nests in it, and then I guess I'm just going to hook a battery up to it and hit the key. I have no idea how long it's been sitting, what the fuel in the tank looks like, any of that, but hey, that's what filters are for, right? Anybody got a guess on what's behind door number 1 here? I'm gonna bet my mouse nest. That's what my money's on. Ugh. So there's what's left of the paper filter. I think it's seen better days. And mouse house. Who had mouse house? We all had mouse house. Who are you kidding? Tell you what, the best part about working on pickup trucks, they got a big giant trash can attached to the back of them. But the good news is it doesn't look like they ever got through that paper filter. They were all on this side of it, which means they didn't get anything down into these intakes, which is good. So I guess it's battery time. And see if we have a key. I don't even know if we found a key. Well, as much as I hate to, I need to turn my attention back to the inside here because I don't have a key. There's not one in the ignition. And I'm hoping if I rummage through a little bit of this garbage that I might be able to find one. God, I hope so. If not, I mean, I can make it work. You know, it's not rocket science, but it's just easier with a key. No key. Not looking good. Alright, so it's like a week or two later, and I got us a battery. I guess we're gonna just toss a battery in here and see what happens. I showed you guys the wiring. It definitely doesn't look good, but yeah, we'll give it a go. So well, nothing's on fire yet. Now, since we don't have a key for the ignition in this vehicle, or what's left of this vehicle, I went ahead and pulled the plug off the back of the ignition and probed around until I found what I needed here. So I took my meter and I found 12 volt in the ground. So what this jumper does, this turns on the accessory, or turns the key into the on position essentially. And now if we take this wire, hard to do one-handed. Take this wire and touch it here. We're engaging our starter, so we'll go ahead and make sure everything is copacetic before we do that. Okay, now this could be a mistake, and I'm sure loads of you will tell me as such, but so with this thing wired up the way it is, our solenoid in the injection pump should be open, so the pump should be allowed to flow fuel. And I'm just gonna try it with whatever nastiness is in that tank from however long this thing has been sitting. And like I said, that may be a regrettable decision, but the fact is, I'm gonna take the lazy way first. Might get lucky, you never know. So here goes nothing. Contact. Doesn't seem like my battery's got a whole lot of juice in it. Alright, I got the jumper cables hooked up to my truck here. Let's give this a second shot. Contact. Let's cheat a little bit. We got our intake wide open here, obviously. Let's go ahead and give it a little, just a whiff of ether, see if it pops on that. Kind of sounded like it almost wanted to there. It tried, but it wasn't getting quite enough pop. Go ahead and crack this bleeder loose right here and see if we get anything when we crank it. I'm betting not. Ooh. Yeah. Let me get a wrench. All right, you guys watch that bleeder for me. I'm gonna go ahead and crank the engine. So part of the fun of me doing these will it start videos is scrounging and using what I got to make it happen. And out here at the farm, I do have some resources, more than say the middle of the woods, but not a lot more. I don't have a proper fuel tank with me to replace. Yeah, that might work. I don't have a proper fuel tank to try to hook up here. I meant to bring one and I forgot, so we're gonna see if we can't use an empty oil jug. To say that this is a janky setup would be an understatement. No idea if it's gonna work or not. Somehow that's not just pouring fuel out of there. All right, well, with our ghetto fuel system installed here, we can go ahead and try to bleed it down to the injectors, or at least to the injector pump here. I'll crack this banjo bolt first. Oh, maybe. Ah, there goes the fuel line. Good news, we got fuel with the injection pump. Now, I was always taught you bleed out all the lines, and that's what I'm going to do here. But recently, a lot of people have been telling me, oh, you just crack the injector that's farthest from the pump. I don't see the logic in that, because if there's air in every line, they all need bled. But if you guys know anything about that, go ahead and drop me a comment down below. Okay, there's all 4 injector lines cracked. Pin this thing to wide open throttle, and you guys go ahead and holler whenever you see fuel coming out of these injection lines. Okay, I think I see fuel on all, definitely on the first 2. The third one's got a little bit of residue, and yeah, I think I'm seeing it on all 4. Go ahead and close these things up, see what happens. Okay, this one's for all the marbles. We'll see what happens. I'm feeling good. Contact. Oh. Losing our ether. Woo! It doesn't sound real good. Kind of sounds like there's a knock. Oh, and there's not like hardly any coolant in it, so I can't run it real long. But it runs. There's also no fuel pressure since we're gravity feeding out of this thing, so I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get it to run quite right. I definitely hear like a rod knock or a piston slap or something. Runs cherry. It didn't like something. We're sucking down our jug flat here, so it might just have run out of fuel. Contact!
Oh, my fuel tank died.
I've had it running about 20 minutes now. We can pretty conclusively say that it runs, and it runs pretty smooth. It does have that little knock sound, but maybe you guys that are a little more familiar with the Volkswagens might be able to tell me that might be normal. I'm not sure. It doesn't sound really good to my professional YouTuber ear, but it is what it is. I guess the last question to be answered here is, will this thing still move? Don't forget, there was a brand new clutch assembly rebuild kit sitting in the floorboard, like somebody was going to put one in it, so the clutch might be smoked in it. We're sitting on 4 flats, so we got that in our favor. And the interior is probably the most disgusting car interior I've ever seen. But I'm going to make the sacrifice for you guys. I'm going to get into this pile of junk and put it in gear and see what happens. This is just foul. Ugh. This is so gross. Well, when that exhaust quits rattling, it doesn't sound so bad. The clutch has resistance, that's good. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a really healthy engine. It does run. I mean, could last you 10 miles. It could last you 20,000. I have no idea. So if you know a little bit more about these VW diesels, drop down in the comments. Let me know if that knocking sound is normal or if that has bad news written all over it. Well, I suppose we answered the question on will it move or not. It kind of tries. The clutch is just slipping really badly. I'm sure if it was sitting on in 4 inflated tires instead of 4 completely flat tires, this thing probably would move a little bit, but it's a little bit much to overcome with 4 flats and brakes that are no doubt really rusty from sitting for God knows how long. So I think unless we replace the clutch and put 4 new tires on it, I don't think this baby's going anywhere. Well, I think that about wraps up this video. We got our beautiful Rabbit here to run. She does run halfway decent. So basically I bought this thing, I think I mentioned, just for the engine. What I gave $250 for the truck. I figured the engine was well worth that if it ran, and I knew it turned over, so good chance that it would run. So as you guys can see, she's a little rough. I don't really think it's worth saving and trying to put back on the road. It's the body's pretty far gone for anything like that. But let me know what you think I should do with this engine. I was thinking it'd make a pretty sweet go-kart, maybe. They're pretty simple. There's not a lot to these engines to make them run. Basically, all you need is 12 volts, the injection pump, solenoid, and fuel supply, and it'll crank up and it'll run and do anything we want. So if you got an idea for a cool project, let me know down below, see what we can do with this thing. But if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, please tickle that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. You guys take it easy. I'll see you on the next video. I'm going to go get a shower. Thanks for watching. Later.